I love the 80s. The music was great, the movies were great. Granted, the fashion was a bit hit and miss, but TV in the 80s was great too. Different Strokes, Alf, Airwolf, The A-Team, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the list goes on. So choosing 3 games based on 80s shows should have been easy. But as this feature looks at last gen games, the choices were actually quite limited. However, your trusty time traveller has made his choices, and after a quick check of the flux capacitor, I'll be on my way.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
The world's #1 selling home computer is now in a family pack, the Commodore 64, plus data cassette and joystick, 4 software programs including Introduction to Basic, a teach-yourself program for the whole family. The Commodore 64 Family Pack, a value of $700 for just $499.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
Michael Knight, a lone crusader in a dangerous world. The world of the Knight Rider.
Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
Apart from maybe the A-Team, Knight Rider is probably the best of the American primetime shows that hit our shores in the 80s. It made a star out of the Hoff, and its cult status lives on today with the rather poor 2008 remake. So let's hope that Davalex's effort can do better than that.
Welcome to Flag Mainframe.
Kit, old buddy, you reading me?
Loud and clear, Michael. Powered up and ready.
Okay, pal. Bonnie wants to run a full systems check before we go out on the next assignment. Come to the semi, because teacher won't let us go till we get these tests over with.
On my way, Michael.
Good morning, Kit. We'll run a few field tests to see if the new system's upgrades work properly and recalibrate them where needed.
Yes, Bonnie. That shouldn't be a problem.
Great work, Kit.
Predictably based on a combo of driving and crime fighting, you start the game by completing a set of tutorial tasks that ease you into the tricks and stunts that your gas-guzzling buddy Kit can perform.
Well done. Ski mode seems to be working fine. Well done. Turbo boost seems to be working fine.
Scan initiated. Scan completed.
Well done. Please return to the semi. Okay, this is the final test.
The graphics aren't going to win any awards, but they are a good interpretation of the varied locations, and the car handles nicely. The tricks that Kit can pull off are also hardly groundbreaking
Over the object.
and often feel tacked on, but for a budget effort, Knight Rider feels really well put together. And unlike a lot of other lower-end PS2 games, I wasn't reaching for the off switch before the tutorial
Well
had
done. You
ended.
passed all tests. You are ready for active service again.
Told you we didn't need these tests.
Mission successful.
Michael, I've just heard there's been a bank robbery in a town quite nearby. Apparently a large sum of money was loaded onto a modified getaway vehicle, which the police cannot keep up with. The vehicle is heading this way, and I would like you and Kit to stop it.
Finally, some action. We're on our way. Kit, let's hit it.
If you mean hurry, Michael, then I concur. The getaway car just passed us at 120 miles per hour. We're going to be hard-pressed to keep it within sensor range.
With the tests over, it's now time to earn your true stripes, as you try and solve a set of crimes that are all interlinked. First of all, you must chase a sports car whilst avoiding the oncoming traffic, explosions and other obstacles that get in your way. This all feels a little bit drawn out, and you never actually get close to the sports car. You're really just trying to keep up until the bad guy reaches the police roadblock at a predetermined point.
Well done indeed. The robbers and the money are both secured.
Mission successful.
Let's get to that bank, Kit.
From that point on, you need to use a smidge of brain power, but only a smidge, as you navigate yourself to the bank that has been robbed, and the next stage of the story kicks in.
Okay, we're here. Let's scan for clues.
Scan complete. Michael, someone is remotely downloading the data stored on this device, replacing it with static in the process.
So that's why no clues were ever found. Can you trace where the signal's coming from?
Yes, I've located it. Displaying.
Let's get over there before all the data's lost.
And that's pretty much it for Knight Rider. Drive to a location, trigger a cutscene, and drive to the next. But for some reason or another, for all its limitations and crude design, the game's fun, and if you can pick it up for a couple of quid at a boot sale or a charity shop, then you're recommended to do so. One thing that does puzzle me though, is how Kit is the only voice in the game that doesn't sound robotic. There's also a second Knight Rider game available, but unfortunately the copy I got was scratched to buggery, so if you've tried it out, please pop on the forum and let us know what it's like.
This is the Sega commercial that tells you when you buy any Sega system, you'll get the incredible 2-player Double Dragon absolutely free. This is the commercial for Sega games that tells you when you buy 3 games, you get Double Dragon free. But wait, this is also the commercial that tells you to tear down to your nearest store and tear off a Sega coupon that says, if you buy any Sega system or 3 of our specially selected games, you'll get Double Dragon free. Offer expires December 31st. Major fun and a free game from Sega. Get it? Got it. Good.
Vice was huge back in the day. A gritty and exciting adventure into the shady underworld of Miami's drug scene. Perfect backstory to build a varied game upon. I was really excited when I picked up the PS2 version at a second-hand shop recently. It only cost me £4 and I was really looking forward to driving Crockett's white Ferrari Testarossa to the various mission locations before battling the gangland hoods, pimps and general bad guys. At that point, I had no idea of the disappointment that lay ahead.
Where's your man? It's getting late.
Patience, Mr. Burnett. He's a busy man. He'll be here.
Showtime.
Miami Vice is another game from Davilex, so after the surprisingly enjoyable Knight Rider, my hopes were high for some similar driving fun and some exciting gun combat. But in reality, the ineptitude of the game was already emblazoned on the back of the box, if only I'd cared to read it. The blurb informed us that the game was based on an actual episode from the show. A show that ran for 111 episodes, yet they decided that one 45-minute episode was enough for a full game. And unfortunately for us, that episode must have been pretty dire. A simple third-person shooter, the game has you controlling either Crockett or Tubbs as they carry out the most mundane of tasks, such as pressing buttons to lower ladders or finding keys to open unlocked doors. The graphics are of typical budget quality, showing just enough of a likeness to get by, but with no character or style whatsoever. The backdrops too are similarly functional but uninspiring, though the first thing you notice is just how poor the controls are. Movement is so fiddly that you end up making Crockett look more like John Travolta as he dances towards the bad guys. He even has John Travolta's trademark sprayed on white flares too. You do get used to the controls eventually, but shooting requires virtually no aim, so blindly stepping out from a hiding place and wildly shooting away becomes far too successful a tactic. One of the absolute worst elements of the game though has to be the voice acting. Sounding nothing like the cast of the show, the cutscenes are delivered like a poor YouTube spoof, and the one-liners that are delivered with annoying regularity are hideously unfunny, often misplaced, and almost reason enough to stop playing on their own. Camera angles too are particularly poor, having you walking in and out of a room just trying to get from one location to another as the camera angle switches with every move. The game really is devoid of anything you could call fun, and I'm sure if he saw it, Don Johnson would be turning in his grave. Yeah, I know he's not dead, but his career is. But the biggest flaw of all in this dirty little game is the fact that you can take 15 bullets to the chest, be a second from death, and all you need to do to miraculously cure yourself is to crouch down. Now what I want to know is why the US military have never thought of that tactic. Just don't crouch down in the sniper's aim like I am here.
I'm down. Case closed. I'm bringing you in.
Incidentally, I also bought the Miami Vice Season 1 DVD box set recently, and was quite disappointed to find that time hasn't been good to the show. It's a long way from the disaster that this game is, but on my nostalgic trip back to 1984, I couldn't wait to get back to the future.
On main viewer now, Captain. It appears to have dual control pedals, plus it's powered by ROM cartridge. Scan reveals lifelike picture, plus stereo sound. Captain, where did that thing come from?
The GX 4000 games console from Amstrad at 99 pounds. Where else could it come from?
Just a good old voice, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Just a good old voice, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
For a week of Sundays, our old friends Bo and Luke Duke haven't come within a Kentucky mile of violating their probation. Now you know that ain't gonna last.
So if I don't get the money to Boss Hogg soon, he's gonna foreclose on us.
Now that's just plain wrong. Say, ain't the stock car race today?
I bet that prize money be more than enough to pay off the mortgage.
You looking for some more orphans to rob?
I just dropped by to say there ain't no way you gonna win that stock car race. You see, it's like this.
Now, Boss was confident, and rightly so. Because while he was talking, Roscoe was taking out a little insurance policy on the race.
Can you really beat the 00 in this old thing?
Darling, The General Lee is the fastest automobile in Hazard County.
Of course, that wasn't always the case.
Ain't that the truth? Now, back then, the General Lee was just a beat-up old black Charger.
The Dukes of Hazzard is a rare show in that there has been plenty of video game interpretations of the misadventures of cousins Bo, Luke and Daisy Duke. The opening sequence is taken from the 2001 PlayStation game Dukes of Hazzard 2, Daisy Dukes It Out, but the main focus of the feature is the 2004 Xbox interpretation, Dukes of Hazzard, Return of the General Lee.
Got some paint, Cooter, but it's kind of bright.
Nice work, Bo. Wasn't that a sweet little tone?
The game picks up the story of the local Duke County orphanage, which is behind with its mortgage payments and in danger of foreclosure. Bo and Luke therefore set a plan to win the local stock car race and use the funds to save the poor little kiddies home. But before all that, we're able to reminisce about how the star of the show, 1969 Dodge Charger the General Lee, came about.
That all, Cooter?
I'll take it from here, boys.
With a simple case of finding 5 car parts hidden around the junkyard, you are really just getting used to the controls of the car, and with all the parts found, your next task is to race Cooter back to the garage.
With a proper automobile, y'all could really make it on the circuit.
Well, what's your game?
Tell you what, y'all, beat me back to my garage, and I will build your dream car.
Okay, on 3.
You see that?
You bet I did, that rat. He's got a head start on getting to that garage.
Whilst your car is obviously much faster than Cooter's pickup, the dirt track shortcuts do make the car slide around quite a lot, and you also need to look out for the cop car making the rounds. Any nudge from Cletus or Roscoe will see you immediately arrested.
You boys just concentrate on getting that car back to Cooter's one piece, you hear?
Okay, Daisy, keep your shirt on.
I can't remember the last time you boys beat me in a race.
Reckon it was yesterday. Pull into the garage there on the right.
Who is driving this here vehicle? And after we install them parts, he's been winning for us ever since. Ain't you, General?
Gentlemen, check the time.
We're late.
Don't you worry, Sally Joe. We'll make it on time.
The race has started. Let's go.
Faster than the bee-stung stallion, cousin.
With the Dodge sprayed, tweaked, tuned and renamed, you finally get the chance to race the General Lee. The race is good fun as you battle with 5 other drivers over 8 laps, but the outcome is irrelevant as the car breaks down due to Boss Hogg and Roscoe's earlier sabotage.
Looking good, cousin.
Losing power, Luke. The General ain't gonna make it.
Everything checks out here, except for that funny smell.
If I ain't mistaken, that's the delicious aroma of Hazard County Blend. You mix the finest high-octane fuel with a touch of decaf. It's a Coltrane family recipe.
Bo and Luke had landed themselves in a bit of a pickle. We all know a pickle can get a little seedy on the inside.
With voice talent provided by the original cast, unlockable cars and circuits, and 3 multiplayer modes, Return of the General Lee can be a lot of fun, and the fact that it should set you back less than a £5 makes an excellent way to get those nostalgic juices flowing. So that concludes part 2 of our 4-decade journey through TV show video games. Next time we move into the 90s, the decade that welcomed the PlayStation, the Wonder Bra, Vic Reeves, Take That, Tomb Raider, Austin Powers, the Channel Tunnel, and Nelson Mandela was freed from prison. There were some fantastic TV shows too, like The Simpsons, Twin Peaks and Baywatch, all starting in the 90s. But we won't be covering any of those in our 90s TV show special, and you'll have to wait until next time for the full lineup, but for the time being, here's a sneak peek of what you can expect.
A new gaming genre is about to be defined. Prepare to enter the world of the X-Files.
This is just the beginning.
Currently in its 2nd month of film production in Seattle, Washington, the X-Files game is a live action adventure game featuring the series stars David Duchovny and Emmy Award winner Gillian Anderson.
Sir, I'm Agent Dana Scully with the FBI.
Do not come any further.
A totally new kind of game engine and interface is being developed by Fox Interactive to support this truly unique gameplay.
Any particular direction you'd like to claim?
Combined with virtual cinema technology, the game will be unlike anything ever released for the PlayStation, Windows 95, and Macintosh CD-ROM.